Mass deportations are reshaping workplaces in Colorado, according to advocates who say employers are threatening to turn in their own employees to immigration if those employees complain about being cheated or mistreated at work. Our Angeline McCall starts us off tonight.
In North Denver, Centro de los Trabajadores has ensured worker protections for years. And yet, they're seeing something new.
Now we're hearing about this new retaliation tool from unscrupulous employers who want to install fear in their workers.
Executive Director Mayra Juarez says employers are threatening to turn their employees over to ICE if they report workplace abuses like wage theft.
But we do see a new atmosphere where there is fear to speak up if they take your wages away, if they don't pay you, because people are scared to speak up.
Just recently, in the state of Colorado, they saw a case like that play out, resulting in deportation.
Unfortunately, this employer immediately took action against him in retaliation, where he called ICE and was able to send them back to his home in Latin America.
Under Colorado law, that kind of retaliation is illegal.
Because we're in this environment of fear, the threats that someone is going to report someone to ICE hold a lot more weight, and we're hearing about those threats being made more and more.
Attorney General Phil Weiser says workers can report wage theft and other abuses.
We're prepared to take action, and we want people to let us know if they're hearing about these threats or these actual retaliatory steps, because they're illegal and they're wrong.
And even with all that, workers can still be hesitant to come forward.
It's going to spread if we normalize it. So it's important that we create this education that workers need these protections.
Centro says they're hearing this from not only undocumented workers, but also others who do have status or documentation, but are naturally concerned, right?
So, I mean, if somebody calls ICE on their own workers, regardless of what the law says about that, ICE is still going to show up and do what they want to do, right?
Right. I mean, it's very clear this is illegal, not only to steal wages, but then also to try to retaliate against someone because of their immigration status. Now, despite that, if someone does go out of their way to report one of their workers, of course, ICE already has their own process in place. And even though it's illegal to report them, it could still have consequences for the employee or the worker.
Ball's already rolling. We should note in this full disclosure, our Word of Thanks Microgiving raised money for El Centro's work protecting workers about 2 years ago. Angeline, thank you. The Supreme Court is letting the Trump administration move forward with roving immigration patrols in Los Angeles, picking people up based on their race, language, or perceived occupation. Lower courts blocked those patrols after American citizens were being swept up in these mass arrests. President Trump has threatened to bring similar tactics to other cities, specifically including Denver. The court's conservative majority lifted a restraining order that kept ICE agents from indiscriminately stopping people in L.A. based solely on their race, language spoken, or job. Justice Brett Kavanaugh said the courts were putting too many restrictions on, quote-unquote, lawful immigration enforcement efforts. The Trump administration says they've arrested more than 5,000 people in L.A. in these sweeps since June 6th. 2 U.S. citizens picked up in those raids were among those who sued. Parking at the airport is not necessarily cheap, but $2,000 a day? The woman had parked in the garage. It's supposed to be $35 a day. This isn't some sketchy parking lot company. It's the city of Denver's property, so it feels like something that should get sorted out pretty quickly. Our Steve Steger looks at why it wasn't.
Our company is You Should. We offer skin protection apparel.
Cheryl McConnell says the foot traffic at DIA makes it worth the high prices she pays to rent some booth space for her small business. Even justifies what she and her husband usually pay for parking to work there.
I park in the garage in the West Terminal.
How much is that?
$35 a day.
It doesn't, however, justify her bill for 1 day of parking 2 weeks ago.
14 hours.
For 14 hours, they charged me $2,300.
Cheryl says after a long day, she didn't look at the screen when she was checking out that night, just swiped her card.
When I went and logged into my bank account, I was like, oh, $23. I wonder what the special was at DIA that day. And then I grabbed my reading glasses. And I was like, what? $
2,310. The receipt they tracked down says Cheryl's car had been parked there since late June. 94,000 minutes, 65 days. If that sounds frustrating already, wait until you hear what it took to try to sort it out.
Person who was on call, they said that we needed to go through the city of Denver. Called first thing on Tuesday morning. You're going to need to talk to another company, talk to another person. Was not helpful at all. Talk to a supervisor. Will have to be a case. Once the case is decided, then it would be 14 days.
Remember, this is $2,300. How on earth could it take that long?
He asked us if we expected to be bumped to the top of the list, which my husband responded, how big is the list? And he said that that was confidential. They have all the information. I'm sure they're going to make good on it. But why should it be this hard?
In the end, it wasn't. Steve on Your Side asked DIA what happened here. They got us an answer within hours. They said they're refunding Cheryl immediately, said the error was a glitch with their parking system, an unclosed ticket from back in June, and that currently our review doesn't indicate that this is a widespread issue. Cheryl has a tough time believing that because of what has happened to her husband in a different car.
When he's gone to leave the airport, it has popped up these different amounts. So he started taking screenshots of them.
Screenshots showing $500, even $1,600.
How many other people has this happened to? Like, how much money have they collected that is not valid?
So we tested that system out today. It scans your license plate when you go into the lot and then scans it when you go out. So when you pull up, you don't have to scan your ticket right away. DIA told us you should always look at what the screen says, and if it appears to be wrong, scan your ticket or press the little help button that's on screen. I'm not saying that this is happening more often than we know, but just in case it is, our email is steveonyourSide@9news.com, or you can get to us the normal way. Next at 9news.com too.
I'm glad you still remember the email, Steve.
It took me a minute.
Even after some time away from our team. But that was too good of a story not to bring back here. I feel like I say this to you over and over again on your consumer beat. We know that mistakes are going to happen, but we would just like for responsible people and agencies to solve these things without you having to get involved to shake the tree first.
That's the thing, is that we keep running into people who run into, there's a term in the industry called sludge, where it just seems like people are determined to slow you down when you're trying to reach some sort of resolution. Customer service departments where you get disconnected, you get connected to another person who doesn't know what they're talking about. It would just be nice if someone once would say, hey, $2,300 for a lot that's supposed to cost $35, you know what? We're going to refund it. We'll ask the questions later.
Yep. That's why you're the sludge buster. Steve Steger, thank you.
Yep.
You're good people. You know that? You know how I know? Because you just raised more than $50,000 to help build a new Boys and Girls Club in Buena Vista, a first-of-a-kind gathering spot for that community in Chaffee County. They hope to break ground next year. Your exceptional generosity week after week through your Word of Thanks microgiving campaigns is legendary stuff. You have raised more than $16 million for nonprofits across Colorado. 16 mil. We're going to stay at it. You know the deal. As long as you're right there and you're willing to give, and I'm right here and able to organize our efforts, we won't quit. Send me ideas of nonprofits making an impact in your corner of Colorado. Email next at 9news.com or text next 303-871-1491. Denver Public Schools defies the Trump administration's deadline to get rid of a certain bathroom or face punishment. And about 20 years ago, from clear across the country, I saw a story from 9 News that changed the way I thought about journalism and convinced me to come to Denver and join this talented team.
Being homeless strips you of everything. I lived in this alley.
Tonight, we will remember the man behind the camera for that story and so many more. A legendary journalist, talent, and exceptional humility. We will miss him very much. The Trump administration is knocking on the bathroom door, and Denver Public Schools is like, occupied, please come back later. DPS is defying the Fed's deadline of today to get rid of the gender-neutral bathrooms at East High School. DPS says that it should have 90 days to work out a resolution with the Department of Education, or, if we're being real, more time to decide the dilemma that institutions across America have faced, whether to comply with the Trump administration's demands or to fight it out in court. The Department of Ed argues the gender-neutral bathroom was discriminatory against girls. And now let's bring in the best-dressed man in Denver television, meteorologist Jaden Knowles. You've been on next, but I was out of town, so
Right.
it's good to work together finally.
It is great to work with you, and I love your jacket. You came with the competition today. I mean, I'm loving it so far. Taking a look outside so far, temperatures are still nice and warm in the upper 70s, low 80s, and we're going to continue to decrease the temperature as we head into the evening hours. We are tracking some isolated showers, mainly staying towards the high country and now trying to make its way into the metro area. But looking at our attention towards parts of Kansas and Oklahoma, 2 tornado warnings earlier. I mean, that was 2 tornadoes on the ground in Oklahoma. If you have any family members out there, you might want to check on them and make sure that they are okay. But here in this great state of Colorado, we're not expecting or seeing anything in that nature at all. We're just seeing the light showers in Broomfield, and really here in Denver, we're not seeing much. Once again, most of the rain activity is off towards the west across the high country. You can see trying to move into parts of Fort Collins and also parts of Steamboat Springs. But as we head into the rest of this evening, temperatures will cool off just a little bit back to the upper 50s. A very nice night as showers will continue to push out towards the east. But the rest of my 7-day forecast, if you've been loving the summer heat, well, that's here for this weekend. The upper 80s Wednesday as well as Thursday. Then a cold front is making its way across the region Friday, dropping our temperatures to the upper 70s by Saturday.
7-day forecast from the man in the immaculate three-piece suit. Thank you, Jaden. When we return here, we remember a colleague that we have lost. We will share with you one of his best-known pieces of photojournalism, recognized across America. That's next. If you're not originally from Colorado, what brought you here? Mountain adventures, job opportunity, relationship? What brought me here almost 20 years ago was a story, a single television news story so well told with such care and heart and respect that I decided I wanted to come work with the journalists who told beautiful stories like that. The story was called King James. It was about a musician who lived on the streets of Denver. It was a story with the power to move people, including one person clear across the country. The photojournalist behind the lens of that story was our Corky Scholl, who died recently at the age of 48. Corky Scholl was a man whose immense talent was matched only by his exceptional humility. Recognized as the best photojournalist in America the year that he told the story of King James, Corky Scholl approached every person with an open mind and an open heart. And what countless Coloradans gave Corky in return was honesty and openness, because Corky's quiet presence was so welcoming, so warm, they'd forget that he was carrying a camera. Corky Scholl allowed us to better see our neighbors the way that he saw them, each one worthy of respect and kindness. Each day this week on Next, we will share with you one of Corky's stories. Tonight, with our former colleague Adam Schrager, this is King James.
Ain't nothing like the blues, y'all. Early in the morning. Ain't nothing like the blues, yeah. Early in the morning.
It's been said the blues are easy to play, but hard to feel. The man known as King James can do both.
Rushing waters going down the stream. I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but I got the blues.
A lifelong love of muddy waters brought King James to the riverbank. A lack of Ben Franklin's in any other bank
You know the nighttime.
leads him to gigs only a blues man would understand.
I say you know the nighttime. Oh, I'm living the blues. Experiencing ain't the word. Oh man, the blues.
That's my neighbor, King James Fisher. He's the music man.
Can't you see I got some stuff on my mind?
He can play it, he can sing it, he can do it all.
Yeah, baby.
He is cool.
Yeah, I got the blues. Day and night. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Blues just says it straight out. Let it roll, baby. It don't take one side or the other. It just tells you straight out the truth. and I'm lonely in a big pretty city like Denver, Colorado.
You see, as the seasons change, a pretty city reveals an ugly past for King James.
Something's wrong with this picture. Pitiful, bro. Old man blues. Won't you please sit down and talk to me and explain this to me? Sad, bro. This is sad. That pillow, all this, these people's clothes. This is where people live. God. Being homeless strips you of everything. I lived in this alley. Not only in this alley, a bunch of other ones around here. Street is hard, especially when you gotta sleep on it.
James Fisher has been clean, sober, and in low-income housing now for a couple of years.
I play the blues because try to let the people know that I ain't forgotten none of my friends out here.
But in here, King James can make that happen.
Here it comes. 1, 2, 3.
Right now, I'm in the studio doing a brand new CD.
Step a little closer, James.
Is that close enough?
I think he's got some talent and no one's given him a chance.
Yeah, just try another pass.
Except for Mario Casilio, who's producing the King James CD for free.
And if I had a chance, I would do it all over again. I think God has blessed him with a big old heart. If I had a chance,
King James hopes God blesses him with a big old audience.
I do it all over again, yeah. Money from this CD will go to the Homeless Coalition, and I'm gonna be trying to do my best to get somebody off this street. I don't wanna live it again. I don't wanna see nobody else living it.
The blues and homelessness. In many cases, it's not about choices, it's about reality.
But it's Christmas time. We all should spread a little cheer. You shouldn't have to sleep in the park. You ought to have somebody in your corner. Even if it's a dog that don't bark.
Or a blues man simply known around town as King James.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, and King James is on his way, yeah. Because everybody's got a life, and this is mine.
With photojournalist Corky Scholl, Adam Schrager, 9 News.
Shirley writes in, Jaden, nice to see two sartorially splendid specimens on Next today. How about some alliteration from her? Kathy and Robin just want you to be aware Jaden is really outshining you in the fashion department. Andrade family says they have a family competition. They track our jackets. Who has a better one? They say I'm ahead 3-2.
Oh,
so
okay.
keep grinding. We'll see you next time.